if that could be something that we could use as well as a module, as your experience, and replicate it here in Montenegro. Thank you.
That was one question. There nobody else dares to raise a hand. I only see one hand up so far. That was the only question. I don't believe that. I put notes for questions. If nobody asks questions, I can ask questions. Don't you worry. But I would like the audience maybe, but I think the hands up appear in the main screen always, right? So they don't. So there's really only was Jelena. Yeah, so I have a technical question, but maybe that's easier to answer by Christo. We usually spoke about ChatGPT so far. You also in the chat put some other tools apart from ChatGPT, which is kind of in everybody's mind. If you could provide a couple of references of other tools, I think for image analysis, for example, Hans had this tool from Google, because ChatGPT does not do everything in equal way. So maybe just have a quick overview of which tools are available. And another question also to Hans, but also to the others that use it, Andrea probably. Are you using free versions or are you using paid version, and what is the cost of these versions in the moment given? That would be my question. So Hans was the first one who was asked by Jelena. So Hans, you start with.
Yes, Jelena, this workshop for the very beginners was a big success. Esther worked with these people frequently at home in her province, and she just made it very, very, very simple. She said, well, you open the free version, you need nothing. You open that and you press the button and this comes, and it was great. So I felt like an expert. It was good. So I'm not sure, but we can discuss this. I could also ask Esther, or if you want to get in contact with her. It was very straightforward, very simple, just to overcome this first barrier. And we said it's only for beginners. I'm sure some others were there as well, but sort of only very basic questions, no questions about other versions of programs or professional, nothing. and it was good. Very, very straightforward, very simple. So maybe we keep in touch, or you ask 2 or 3 more questions. It seemed very straightforward. But of course, everything in German. I'm not sure if Esther does anything in English. No idea. Yes, Klaus. For the training purposes, we use the free versions of many different programs, and for work we use the paid versions. Cost, I don't know. I would say, I have to ask Christo. I don't know. So we simply buy ChatGPT, and this is then for 4 or 5 users. I think we have 3 ChatGPT licenses, but they are professional. So we use, for professional work, we use the better versions.
But
the cost is not excessive. I would say, I don't know, maybe 300-400 euros or something per year. So it's okay. It's nothing great, but I think Krista would know more about this.
Yeah. Okay, maybe Andrea on that one as well. How do you manage this? Paid versions, which tools are you using?
So for us, as we are implementing the IA in 3 different ways, so we also have the paid version of ChatGPT for the reception team assistants, because if I'm not wrong, because we use the help of some experts on AI for training this, you cannot train an assistant on the free version. So we have the paid version for like training them with the specific documents. I'm not really sure about the cost because we use it for a lot of different things, you know. And then for the communication platform, it actually it's hard to tell because we have a communication platform that does not only work for AI, it's a communication platform that integrates the messages from the guests, either if they are from WhatsApp, from Booking, from Airbnb, we get all the messages in the same platform, so everyone can see them. And like it doesn't matter if the person from the team is in Barcelona or in Sevilla, they can see the messages from all guests. We don't have several phone numbers, for example. And the chatbot for the guest is integrated there. I think we don't have an extra cost for these trained chatbots. We only pay like the fare that we have for the communication platform itself. And then for the reviews platform, right now it's integrated with our PMS, with our reservations system, basically. So it's only, as well, it's just a little bit, I think it's like 20 euro more per month, something like that, because we are already paying for the service. So it's not like a big cost that we are assuming, but because we are already using it in a different way, the tools.
Okay, thanks. Now, Cristo, I guess you can comment about the cost and the prices, or how far the free tools are sufficient for a small provider by your experience, and the question about alternative tools that complement for different more specialized tasks that would be recommendable.
Yes. So the best practice would be that if there is the means available to make like the paid plan for like an AI, is it ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or Microsoft Copilot. But of course, if that would be like the reason to not begin at all, then like starting with the free plan is a good of a choice as well. But like the main of the big difference is that like with the paid plans, you quite often get the most up-to-date of like the models. So essentially like the brain inside AI. And also when you're like doing conversations where you want to include already a bit of information and maybe include some kind of the files, then with the free plan, the amount of information that like the ChatGPT or some kind of another alternative can comprehend is pretty small. So for all kinds of professional activities, like being on like one of the paid plans is like the best of the practice. And also has been shared as well that if you do want to like train an AI assistant, and if you want to do it in ChatGPT, that requires to be on like the paid plan as well. And if you want to like disable that your chats and conversations wouldn't be used for like training the future of the models in AI. If you want to keep that disabled and like for the sake of privacy and confidentiality, that when you're already like utilizing AI in a professional of a situation, then you do want to keep that disabled. So and you can do that only with like the paid plan. And going more specific, so for example with ChatGPT, the plan that I recommend for you is that if you already have a small of a team, so you can of course have like an individual of the paid plan, which is a 23 on a monthly basis. But if you already have a small team of people, then like this business plan, its price is a bit higher, but it also gives a lot of good flexibility and a lot of good of the features that you can like collaborate between the members of the team. So this business planning ChatGPT is like the good way to go, and you also have a lot of extra features available. So that being shared about the plans, then quick recommendations about different kinds of AIs that could be valuable for you. So the one that I put into the comments as well is with the name of Group, that essentially allows you to connect a lot of different applications into ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. So essentially the integrations in ChatGPT at the moment, there's quite a small amount of them, and you can only retrieve information, but you cannot make any like different kind of actions. So you can connect this with ChatGPT, and it has like the majority of most popular different tools and platforms. So I really recommend to experiment with that. And then another tool that I would recommend is like this AI from Google, and Gemini is it called, and so this is how it is when you go to the Gemini website. And one of the best things it has here is this opportunity to create images. And like about 4 of the weeks ago, there came out a new innovation with a friendly name, a nano banana, which is essentially like the name of that AI inside Google's Gemini, and it's the most realistic kind of images that you can imagine. And you can also create images for like the marketing campaigns or for like the website. So I do recommend to experiment with that. So this can be something that is really valuable for you. Then a few more quick recommendations, and then I'll wrap this up. So besides these tools, quite often we have this situation where we are participating in a lot of different kind of the meetings online, or even like doing a face-to-face of a meeting. So this tool with the name of Fireflies AI is one of the best meeting transcribers, and it connects with all of the different platforms, and it gives really good integration capabilities. And if you're doing like a face-to-face meeting, it even like understands the differences in the voices as well, so you can get a really well structured of a transcript from the meeting. So this is what I recommend. And one final recommendation is for creating beautiful looking slides. So here is this cool tool with the name of the Gamma. Yeah. And then they've been doing pretty well, and then you can like very quickly and easily like give your even draft ideas, and it will make them in the beautiful of a presentation, or you can like do detailed of refinement as well. So for example, these are some of the tools that I would I recommend.
Thank you. Before I give to the two hands raised from Hans and Jelena, we have two questions in the chat. One question from Ilse, I would guess by the family name from Latvia. My only question would be the recipes for the tools, how to do it practically. How do you integrate all these platforms into one that writes responses? I don't know, probably that's again for Christo, a technical question. And the other question is for Andrea, but you can read that maybe yourself in the chat. It's last one, and then you reply after Christo, okay? And then I take the question from Hans. So Christo, again, you for this one.
Yeah. So in the beginning, like creating the systems can take a bit of an effort, but like if like the value you get is meaningful to you, then like I do recommend to do that. And in practical terms, like how do you connect all of these? So there are like two different approaches at the moment. One is this like really well-defined AI-based automations. So there are different platforms for that. If you put it into ChatGPT, it will give you the best ones at the moment. And another direction is to have like this dynamically operating AI assistants and AI agents. So with this Rube integration, you can like write it prompt that you would want the AI to do, and you mention the different names of the platforms that you do have, and it's goes and it will start to do it. And when it needs some kind of a feedback, confirmation, it will come back to you. So that's like the other direction that seems to be more popular and valuable these days. And with this Rube integration especially as well, like the connecting different of the platforms and tools with it, it's really quick and easy and straightforward. So whenever you open the page and you create an account there, then it will guide you through the process. So it potentially takes like 5 to 10 of the minutes to like connect 3 to 5 of the main of the tools that you would have. And that being expressed, like quite often, like already in the tools that you would use on a daily basis, I do recommend to check out as well, like what integrations do they provide. So for example, like replying to the reviews or the comments or things like that. Quite often that like the platforms designed for that specific of the niche, they do have some of like the native integrations available as well. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Andrea, to the question that was raised for you.
Yes. So the question was if we have the mailbox integrated with ChatGPT. So at the moment we don't have it, but it's just because we are not needing it. We do not get that many of guests' emails, to be honest. Usually in our email, we only get like confirmation from the platforms or requests from booking or something like that. Usually the guests are texting us via WhatsApp or through the platforms, and when they send a message through the platform, we get it in the communication platform, not in the email. So as we are not receiving that many emails from guests, we have not found the need to integrate both platforms yet.
Okay, thanks. Then we have hands up from Hans and from Jelena again. So Hans first.
Thank you. I have one comment and one question. The comment is, we asked our Austrian experts similarly, what do you use personally? I mean, when you work, which tools do you use? And it turned out that they use 2, maximum 3 tools themselves, unless they have very specific uses. But they use the ChatGPT, the Canva, and maybe Gamma, and that's it. So they showed us, I don't know, 6 or 8 different programs, but they said, well, nice to know that they exist, but only for very specific purposes. So they work. It's a bit like with Google in the good old days, that sooner or later everybody was using Google. And the question is for Christo, because I like to hear these experts and everything is wonderful and everything works and the machine is wonderful. It's great. But I think the machine is dangerous. So my question is, in farm holidays, again, I said it before, we are a natural, authentic, personal product. The question is to Christo, where do you see limits where we should not use AI for the purpose of not becoming, I don't know, artificial, standardized, I don't know. So it helps, it improves, and this is possible and this is possible. But in the end, it could be that we weaken our own USP by using AI as all the others do. So this makes me think a lot, and I'm quite happy to hear some hints.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
How to
Thanks
do
for that.
better.
Thanks for that question. I
See,
take also
Christo see, Christo is smiling and is happy already. The machine is helpful.
I'll take also Yelena's question, and then I would invite not only Christo, the technician, but also I think this is something very important for Alejandra and also for Andrea to also comment their view, because the technician view is also always, we know informatic people, they can do everything. We know that. But then when we find out what we need, it's sometimes not exactly what we expected them to do, because for them it's everything easy, but for us it's not. So Jelena, and then let's reply Christo, Andrea, and Alejandra.
I have, it's very connected. I have two questions for Christo this time. The first one is connected to Hans's question. It's risk. In my experience, I've been using it for proposal writing. It overcommits me. It hallucinates, it invents things, beautifies things, which in tourism is a very risky thing, because then it's very connected with the satisfaction of guests. How do you prevent that? The next question is related to the privacy that you mentioned earlier, privacy protection. How can we be sure if clients need privacy and want privacy, and they know that we are using artificial intelligence for responses, how can we make them feel secure and safe in maybe asking very specific questions? How do we know what happens with the data that we enter in AI?
Okay, now Christo, yes.
Alrighty. So the approach that I have taken now, working with different teams and a lot of people with AI implementation, is that like we wanna make sure that the authenticity that all of us inhabit in a natural way, that it doesn't get lost when we are like collaborating with AI. So like, for example, I grew up in a small rural tourism family, the micro business as well, and like the text that my mother was able to put together to introduce what they do, like what we did, like wow, this is amazing, and like no kind of an AI can do it that way. And I imagine the same case to be with a lot of people with whom we are in this call together with as well. So the practical recommendation here is that for writing the texts, my recommendation always is to actually like begin from your own draft instead of like starting from a blank page with AI. And in practical terms as well, when you have a small team and don't have a lot of resources, for example, then if you want to like scale up your content production, be it via social media or website or email or whatever, then like one of the best practices we can do to train an AI assistant is actually to give it good examples of the text that we have like written together, that we feel kind of like do include like the qualities that are important for us. So that's a quick reply about the authenticity topic that I feel is like kind of connected, that like what are the limits of AI. So it's good to think that AI isn't here to replace us, but rather give us an amplification. So the goal isn't to be someone who we authentically already wouldn't be, but instead of like the daily routine activities that we need to do, that we can give to smart machines. If we do that, that essentially allows us to be more of a human, so that we can focus more on the strategic aspects or on the creative things, and kind of like making sure that we are moving towards the goals we have, or like enjoying the beauty of life. So that's how I think about the balance between AI and humans, and the collaboration, that the things you do not want to do, that are repetitive, take time, it's good to give them to smart AI assistants and agents. And then quick reply about the proposal writing example. Then as AI cannot take responsibility, we as humans can take responsibility. So really practical recommendation here is that whenever you create something with AI, you still always need to like review it and confirm it, and potentially make some refinements and changes to it. The more good tactics you do have available in your skills and in like the know-how, the quicker the process can become whenever you need to, let's say, put together a bigger of a text or grant proposal or documentation, that you don't need to do that extensive refinement of taking down the extra enthusiasm of AI that makes all things so always has a tendency to make them really dramatic or really big. So just give good examples of maybe like previous results. Can it be like some kind of a file or documentation, or with a grant proposal example, maybe like a previous proposal you put together, and one final recommendation. Then I'll try to not speak so long and then give voice to all of you, is that one of the best prompting techniques to speed up high quality collaboration with AI is that when you start a new conversation, you give it the task that you want the AI to start doing, and in the end of that, you would put a sentence that could go in the lines of ask me questions, so you could give the best of our result. And that one addition into the end of like the prompt to an AI can do a lot of magic. So AI comes back to you. It will ask you a few different questions related to the task. You can give immediate of a feedback and like give it a good of a guidance. So that's what I recommend to do. And about privacy as well, then like for example, ChatGPT's creator OpenAI, big majority stakeholder is the Microsoft. So when you feel trust about Microsoft as an example, then that can be kind of applied to OpenAI, ChatGPT, and like these big tech companies. Yeah, you need to be aware of privacy, and especially when you're doing professional things. We cannot 100% kind of get that confidence that some data kind of potential issues can happen, but I wouldn't be too concerned about it, because they cannot allow it, because that would like end their business quite quickly. And what I recommended before, that when you're doing professional things with AI, always like make the paid of the plan, because then in the configuration, when you, let's say, ChatGPT, you can disable that your chats wouldn't be use to train the future of the models of AI. You cannot do that on the free of the version of ChatGPT or the different alternatives. So that's one of the quickest things we can do.
Thank you, Christo. We have 2, 3, 4 minutes and the whole thing will stop. So I suggest, as anyway, Alejandra and Andrea were still supposed to say something, we use this also as your final words. There's no further question up anyway. And then we close at shortly 6:30 also. Alejandra has to go to another group, I think. So Alejandra, maybe first because you're in a hurry.
Yes, thanks. Believe it or not, I have a tour in a little while. So yeah, this never ending, of course, with a tourist guide. No, it was extremely interesting. Thank you to everyone for your ideas, and I hope that we have all learned something. And of course, since we're talking about Pact for Skills, these skills need to be perfected, and I'm sure we're all in the same line for that. Wish you a wonderful evening to everyone, and greetings from Paris, of course.
Thank you, Alejandra. Andrea?
So same, thank you everyone for being here and for your questions and for the debate. It has been very interesting to share the different opinions. Of course, you need to have a human behind the screen, and you need to make people feel that there's a person behind there. And actually, from our experience, you can train the AI to show that in a little way. And of course, revise everything. So don't see AI as a competitor, but as a tool, and you will get there. Trust me. Thank you so much, everyone.
That's a good point. Thanks a lot from my side as well, and I hope that this session inspired you to try out different things that the speakers were sharing.
Okay, Hans, your last word, and then I close.
Yes, thank you. Good night and good luck.
Okay, so thanks then to everybody. I put in the chat if anybody wants to click. As Alejandra commented, Pact for All, Pact for Skills and Tourism. These are the European money where we can do things like this. I took quite a lot of lessons or of ideas also for our organization, Rural Tour. I guess many of you took ideas. It will probably take us watching the whole recording again with time to filter everything out. But thanks for participating. Thanks especially also for our visitors from Eastern Europe, from Ukraine. We stand with you in your difficult times. And I wish you a very nice evening. Thanks for being here. Look at the link. If you want to join the Pact for Skills, you can do it there. And I will send a summary as soon as I get it from AI. Read AI will do it. I will not correct it. I will just send the link so you assisted and you knew what worked or what is not correct. And the recording, and please, all speakers that had presentations, send them to me as soon as possible. None of them had animations, so it can be in a PDF format that is smaller and easier to handle and cannot be reused so easily if somebody wants to copy from it. Thanks a lot. Have a nice evening and see you on another occasion. Bye.
Goodbye.
Stop recording.
Recording stopped.
Bye bye, Klaus.
Okay, si
Yes.
alguien quiere quedarse, se puede quedar. I want to stay, but I think everybody's leaving anyway now, so that was it. Carles, por cierto, ya que te tengo, ya se ha ido. Ya se fue.